Yes, I can hear this. Yeah, hi. Should I just start talking? I don't know if you're still playing some music. You can play over whatever the hell I'm saying. I don't have anything to say yet. We'll see when some people show up. I got a movie on in the background over here. So if you see me keep looking up, it's this movie they just came out. It's called let me see what the hell it's called. It's called Hardcore Henry. Is that what it's called? Hardcore Henry? And apparently it's the whole thing is done. I've never seen this option on Netflix before. It's called Cinematography 101. And it's all designed from mostly a first person video game. So the whole thing is done. So have you ever played a video game where you're a first person shooter? You're running through and it's like the camera's right in front of you. So they film apparently the majority of the movie this way, which is going to be pretty strange, I guess. So they'll do the cut scene, so you kind of see what's going on. They'll give you like landscape, and then all of a sudden it zooms into like wherever the gun is or whatever they're doing, and just they go from it that way. It's pretty interesting. I just started it, so I don't need sound for this. I don't even know what the hell they're saying, but it's pretty interesting. So that's on the background. Waiting for some people to show up, and we can figure out what to talk about here because I just did 4.5 hours of magic. Imagine that. I mean, the beginning was just some music, but then you guys got me to wait. No, actually, no. I did a show before that was music. And I had to start talking. So yeah, 4.5 hours of me jibber jabber. I had to collect my beverage, which is here we have some vodka and some kombucha. We have the best thing in the world, which is this sound right here. This sound is the best thing in the world. Out of three things. That or a zipper coming down, or you can fill in the blank. Third. Also got some vino. So the hell, you guys said you were coming back. Nobody's here. This is a horse manure. 8 minutes in, nobody's here. I'll just wait till people show up. I have nothing to say. A vino juice, yeah. So we got Franzia out the box, which for my money, can't beat it. What do you get? 5 liters? 5 liters? Is that even right? What's a thing of wine? 750? 750, 751, 3 liters, 450. That's six and a half, 6.5 wine bottles. Is that right? Am I good with math here? 750 a piece, right? Yeah, 751, 3, 450. That's six and 3/4 for $17. Hey, I'm not very good at math, but that's $2 check. And I know, I'm not. You can't get $2.99 Trader Joe's delivered. So at the Franzia, it's not bad. So that and I got a bottle of vodka to cure what ails me, and then I got the beers because I just really wanted some beers. So I'm only gonna drink like 1 or 2 beers. I prefer a beer, but I don't feel like I didn't feel like buying a 30 pack. What do you think about that, dude? Okay, Burp got in the building. Of course, I'll let you know. My dinner was squishy carrots, squishy, smushy. What up, Teddy? What are you doing? I just had to go collect all of the most important things in the world: beer, vodka, and wine. You're like, what kind of fucking drunken fool are you? The best guy. I'm very good at this. Don't take up alcoholism. Not a good idea. Drunkenness, that's reserved for me. Have a drink here and there, but don't take it on as a responsibility. It's not your. It's my responsibility to drink all of the spirits, so I know what they are for everybody else. We just rocking and rolling over here. I just started. Hey, are you into first off, you said Florida. I'm guessing you're a dude, right? Are you into video games? What are you rocking? Are you rocking PS5? You're Xbox? I'm guessing. You got the Xbox One? And are you into first person shooters? Because I know you missed the beginning. Are you into first person shooter games? Video games at all? You fucks with them? What's up, Rory? Oh, you got Rory, you got that white Porto? How you liking it? Yeah. Port wine is where it's at, dude. You get a good port wine. I mean, I drink the cheap shit and it's too sweet. They give me a little bit of headache. But that white Porto, which variety? What's the bottle? What's up, Black Sun? What's up, gamers? Yeah, yeah. I was just talking about this show that I just put on. It just came out on Netflix. It's called Hardcore Henry, and I don't think it's on. I took the volume off because I can't have it on here. It's just something to watch. But it's filmed in and it's completely done as a first person shooter. It's not based on a video game. I don't think so, unless they went the other way around. I'm not sure. But it's a whole movie that's done from the stance of first person shooters, which is pretty slick. And they even do like the cut scenes already and like the dialogue and they break the fourth wall. Is it called fourth wall or the third or fifth wall? It's the fourth wall, right? So they break the fourth wall and they just stare into the camera and they're talking to you. So you're basically watching the movie as if you're playing a video game. And so I'm watching that right now. I just came out. Oh, you play PC? Okay. What's up, Rising Love? What are you doing? What is good? What is a port wine? Oh, you watched it? Is it good? Is it a show or it's a whole movie, right? It's not a TV show. It's a movie, right? And what is port wine? Port wine is from Portugal. That'd be official. It's kind of like saying champagne. The champagne, it has to come from a region in France. Bubbly wine is not champagne. It's the same thing. It just comes from a specific region. But port wine comes from Portugal, but it basically means a wine that goes to port to port. So what they do is they take a 13% normal 12.5 30% wine and they add an alcohol to it. They add hock, right? So it brings it up to about 17 to 19%. So that way when they put it on the ship and they're going overseas, when they take the cap off and they drink it and they put the cap on or they put the cork back in, it will stay. It doesn't go bad. Wine, once you take it off, it's immediately it's oxidizing and turning into vinegar. But once you make port wine, you put an additive in there. I mean, they use all sorts of different things, but it usually comes from they usually use another type of grape, which they turn into a high alcohol, and they put that in there. You get a kind of a combo that they can drink. So it's a little heavier than wine, but not quite alcohol to get all rum drunk. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, it's old, Teddy? Oh, I've never seen it. I thought it just came out. I guess it just came out of here. It just came out on Netflix. Oh, port wine is where it's at, dude. Especially if you get a good one. If you get a cheap one, there's gonna be a lot of residual sugars, meaning they don't let it ferment. It's just gonna be really cheaply made and it's gonna taste like grape juice. It's good, but it'll give you a headache. It's just there's extra shit you don't want. But a really good port wine, it'll be sweet and it'll be stronger, but you won't get a headache off it. It's delicious. Port wines and ice wines, which are very expensive, and it's like a dessert ice wine. It's a whole other level of awesome. You're trying to be cool with the text rising love. What have you been up to? Ain't seen you in a little bit. Take us to skill. What you want to know about? Take us to skill school. Oh, Rory, it's so strong you misplaced the bottle. Ah, how do I feel about marijuana? I mean, see, this is a long story. Because I have so many videos, you could look up some old videos I did. One is called Marijuana Myth, I think. I did a whole breakdown of what I really think of it. I'll make it very simple on the marijuana thing. Its original source coming from the seed of the mother plant. Great idea. Where it is now, it's hit or miss. There's so it's been so adulterated. It's become quite addictive to people. It's no longer just to get your head off of things and get a little high and enjoy yourself and smoke like Bob Marley did. Bob Marley wasn't smoking this indica kush and all that shit. He would not be down with it. I don't believe. You know what I'm saying? Like people that were smoking, they were not smoking this laboratory hybridized nonsense. So you just got to be careful. I'm not. I look like a pothead, but I am not. I will participate. I do partake in such endeavors. I find it enjoyable, but it's not my thing. Meat, eat it if you want. It's for me the diet, and I have literally probably hundreds of videos on diet. What you consume through your eyes, your ears, your mouth. It should be local and current, meaning whatever is growing next to you right now, that's what you should be eating. If you live somewhere cold, you should be eating tubers and probably eating meat. If you live somewhere hot, you should probably be eating fruit, and there'll be little to no meat on your plate. And if you live on an island, you're gonna eat fish. I mean, that's your local environment will tell you what you need to eat. I don't want to go over that all right now because it's just a long talk that I've done so many times. But you can find videos on it. Just put my name in the thing, go to my channel, and scroll through. And if some of them are locked or you can't find them, I have maybe 600 that I've unlocked, and there's about 4,500 that I have locked or in a safe deposit box on here that I can unlock for you. So, yeah. What's up, Christopher Lee? Yeah, if you can't find it, just scroll through. There's tons of them. Start with look up my name and then most popular ones. I didn't unlock all the most popular ones, but that it should probably be in the top 100 because most of my older ones that are teaching oriented and where you don't see my stupid face, it'll be that kind of stuff. It'll be one of the older ones. It'll definitely be an older video. How many videos do I have? I probably about 5,100 videos between 30 minutes and 10 hours. I've done a 10-hour video. And some people on here know this. I've done a few 10-hour videos. Word is bond. So I have over 10,000 hours of material. So to reach a plateau of 10,000 hours of doing something and knowing something, that makes you a well beyond a professional. So for me to talk for 10,000 hours, imagine what it took for me to understand to be able to talk for 10,000 hours. Crazy, right? What's up, Seifel? What are you doing, man? You can ask the shaman here. He might know me. He's a werewolf in training. Yeah, I mean the simple thing on meat, man, is if you have your druthers, if you have the best course of diet, you ingest prana, you ingest sunshine, and then as we step down levels, we go through the levels of densities. Then you'll start consuming liquids. After you're consuming prana, sunshine, the ether, what's around you, then you would start bringing in liquids. Liquids come from the top of the tree or the cleanest of waters, which are coming distilled from the sky. And then the next level would be, so that would be, then you go from the waters, then you go to the fruit, then you go to vegetation, and then you go to tubers, and then you go to dead animals or fish. Like it's the densities and how dense your body will be. But location, depending on how hot or cold it is, will dictate what you can put in your body. If you live in Canada, you don't have fruit trees, period. Unless you've figured out how to come to the South, grab some seeds, make a greenhouse, and then grow it through the seasons. But as you get farther north, there's no fruit trees. But there are hella animals. There's whales, there's blubber, there's elk, there's all sorts of deer, there's all these things. Come to the South, that's not here. But there's fruit trees. There's abundance growing right there for you to eat. So your climate should dictate what you consume. Rising level. At least you don't smell like a retard. You on the geoduck, like for real, for real? Because last time you were telling me you were just kind of self-substantiating, building something for yourself. Wicked, man. Geodomes, that's awesome. That the geodesic domes like Buckminster Fuller style, or are you doing geodesic domes like Buckminster Fuller, or are you doing earth chips that are more uh, clay and earth based, or are you combining the two and doing more of a organite type situation where you're using some inorganic and organic shit? Well, there you go, Teddy. I mean, if it's in your environment and your body, and you feel like you need it, there's a difference between needing something and being addicted to it. But there's some people like there's a transition of getting off of densities. There was a long time ago after I was very liquiditarian, and I was like, oh, I want to be a breatharian. That was my goal. I was like, I did a long fast on water. It's like I'm 40 days into doing water. I don't need to eat. I'm just juices and da da da. And then I got to a place where I was just like, why? I mean, that was it was like, why am I doing this? For what? What purpose is that going to serve? But if that's what you want to do, man, just realize there's levels to it. You can't go directly from eating heavy, dense food to just thinking you can go and be a breatharian. Oh, nice, man. Rising Love sounds like a program. What do you mean? To go through, you're talking about shaman saying, or are you talking about what I'm saying of going through the levels? And I mean, it is how to put it. It's like if you don't have the key, you can't get in. It's self-regulating. Means these people that want to start doing like, oh, I don't need to drink any water today. They're gonna end up hurting themselves. You can't just go because you read about it and you see these people doing this vegetarian and vegan and this, and there's a couple people out there at breatharian. You know how long they've been doing that? Your body cannot just regulate to the point of not consuming water. You still have filth in your body. You live in I see these people, they live in cities. They live in places. And a year ago they were still eating food. You don't go from a year ago eating food to not drinking liquids. The process takes a lot longer than that. Usually it's 21 years, 7 years per. Where we are in reality now, you can speed it up, and there's a lot of ways to do that. But these people are just going straight to trying to be breatharian. They don't even know what they're doing. They have no idea what they're even breathing. If you're gonna go breatharian, why stop there? You don't need to breathe. I'll explain something to you. Next time you're in a dream, next time you're out of body, ask yourself if you're breathing. So if you don't need to breathe in a dream, why are you breathing here? Your atoms in your body don't breathe. Why are you? You can fly in your dreams. Why can't you do that here? So like the things that you dream about that you think you tantamount to some lofty being that I just breathe. Why? Why? I had to go through that process of asking myself, why do I want to be a breatharian? And I couldn't give myself a very good answer. So now I became a blackbird. I eat whatever the fuck I want, whenever I want, and I just transmute it. I make an effort to be more liquiditarian just because it's easier on my body. But all in all, if you kill it, I'll eat it. Are you going to Dallas? Wicked. Hey, what are you going by these days? Should I call you Cephal? Should I call you by the name I know you as, or what? Can I call you SS? Are you the Secret Service of SS? Are you like a Nazi now? Shavin Seifel. Um, if you're going to Dallas, you're gonna be right around Fort Worth, yeah? You should link up with some of my friends over in Fort Worth. And I don't know how far you're going, because Dallas Fort Worth isn't too far from that place where they play that rockabilly music down there, Austin. That you need to be good at drugs too fast. Junie, you're in Austin too, right? Yeah, that's it. Okay. Well, here's the thing about water is life. Um, cellular activity is life. The water is the containment vessel for the charge of Ori, which is the sunlight, which is the movement. But the the mem of Ori, the memory, the the housing is just once it's there, it's there. It breathes on its own. You know, your body will breathe. It will sweat and then take things in, right? As a cell itself. Once it's clean, it will. So you can get to the point of not needing to breathe or not needing water because you're surrounded by water. You know, we can take water out of the air. It's moist. It's moist. You're going to your body's going to be your biggest organ is your skin, and you're already breathing in and out water and all sorts of shit through the pores in your skin. But the people that just go right to going, I don't need water. No, yes you do. Until every single cell in your body is cleaned. I don't know if I can share this part with you because it might go too far. Um, once I'll just say it this way: once your body is clean enough, then your basically your pores of your skin will bleed out everything that you don't need eventually. Like you're bleeding out salt water. Now you're bleeding out all the salts. And by bleeding, it's your pores are letting things out. Your, your sweat is salty because you shouldn't be having salt in you. There'll be a point where you'll release all of that, and then will you be? Spirit is breath. Spirit is alcohol. Alcohol rises. You let the alcohol. You open. It takes a container of alcohol. Let it sit there. Where's the alcohol go? Where's the water go? Where's the liquid go? The liquid becomes down here, and so the spirit rises. And so all of that empties out of you, what do you become? You become spirit. You become closer to because all of the heavy, dense material salts and cubes, the Saturnian cubes of salt, Saturn is a cube, salt cubes. Once those get out of you, you go back to the form that you were before you inhabited this body, this temple, which is made out of, well, no man's hands made this temple. Where'd it come from? You make it, but you become closer to what the spirit is, which is not water. The water contains the spirit. A little bit longer of a lesson than I want to go. It's a little deeper of a journey, but we'll get there eventually. Yeah, that's my favorite albums ever. Um, Lupe Fiasco, Food and Liquor. Go look it up. Yeah, it's the biggest thing is anything you consume, you have to transmute. Digestion. Digestion is to split, die, and split, transmute. You're forming something out of what you get, and you split it apart and transmute it into something new. Oh, that's right, Houston. Houston. H-Town, baby. Teddy, you talking about Black Airbender? Yeah, he's awesome. You've heard from Devin that you've talked with before spiritually is the ritual of breathing. It seems to be the only way I can bring myself out of low vibe states. There's lots of ways to do it. If breathing's working for you, I mean, it should be because the number one thing you do, you don't have to eat for 40 days. You don't need to drink water for a couple days, but you don't breathe for a little while, you're dead in the water. So it's obviously the most important thing we can think of. So air, breath is spirit. Spirit is alcohol, and spirit is, that's why we're talking about, and spirit is breath. So your spirit is made of breathing. I mean, and there's other ways to get out of low vibe states. There's lots of juices that will have good energy in it. There's even foods that will have it in it. Dancing will, good conversations, walking, sunshine. I mean, there's lots of ways to do it. But what you have the most, oddly enough, the thing you have the least and the most control over is your breath. If you're not thinking about it, you're breathing anyways. If you're just sitting here, your hand's not going to move unless you make it a gesture. If you're sitting here, you're going to breathe regardless if you want to or not. But if you take control consciously, you can take control. It's a very it's one of the only things that has that capacity that will, like, your brain's going to work, your hearing's going to work, your eyes going to work, but if you focus on something, it's the type of things that you have the capacity to gain a little bit of control over. Like, just because I'm looking in front of me and I see this box. I mean, I can open up my vision and see other things in the room, but if I don't move my head, I mean, the box is still there. It's not going away. But my breath, if I forget, like right now, if I'm looking over, I can't forget the box is there. I'm just looking around. It's still there. I can kind of look over here and misplace my ring or something. You know, I can misplace what do I do with that? You misplace it. It's kind of it's similar in the way you go, was I breathing? Where's my breath at? And you go back to, holy shit, I never got really high. And you go, was I just breathing? There's a fucking good chance you weren't. But your body didn't need to. It was just doing what it needs to anyways. It didn't need the extra oxygen. It was how many times do you practice holding your breath, and do you know how to properly do it? You can there's people that held their breath for 14 minutes. You got to take a big mega dose of oxygen, but even doing it just out of proper breathing practice, you can get to about 7 minutes. I've got up to like 3 minutes and 30 seconds. The piss is the correct. Yeah, shaman. The piss is the right maneuver. Yeah, breathlessness is deathlessness. Yeah, that's what seems about right. I mean, all you're trading in is the BR for the D, which would be. I don't want to do that right now. That's a long lesson in reflective. So a B goes this way, a D goes this way. Birth, and death. See, if I take a lowercase d and a lowercase b, put them back to back, you have a birth and a death, and then an R is we'll do that another time. I have plenty of videos on that shit too. You take back the salt energetically. Yeah, you're taking back an organic salt. Is right. It's not. Your body has salt, mineral, and I'm using air quotes around this because it's different when it's the way it should be functioning in your body, because it doesn't. Kind of like you can rust steel in your body or rust iron. You can rust things, but if you put certain elements, they don't rust. It's the same way with organic versus inorganic salts, how they're being used in the body. When you fasted, it was like being very sick. Yeah, because when you're fasting, your body goes, what is wrong with me? And it starts checking over all of itself. And goes, all right, this problem, and then just like delete this, and it starts eating away at that, and then goes into your poopy hole, and out the back door. And it probably smelled really, really bad. You're like, I haven't eaten. Where is this coming from? Yeah, it's killing shit that you stuck in your body at an earlier point in time. The craziest was doing a really long fast, doing 40 days, and taking it shitting on the 35th day. Going, how? What is happening? I mean, I get that there's still a process going. There's a breakdown of things, but what is it breaking down? And why does it smell that way? Rising love, be the best, Joe. Good to see you. Stay well. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you. Appreciate that. Haha. What about drinking your own urine? Fucking drink your piss. What are you talking about? Don't ask me about Shivambu Kulpa. You should be drinking your piss. The only reason that I'm having a little sickness is because I got very I got dehydrated. I wasn't drinking my piss. I was out being foolish. I ate a bunch of fried foods. I was being an asshole to myself, right? Pay the piper, which is clogged up shit. So I start gargling some piss, doing all this other stuff, getting some liquids, kombuchas, take a little medicine, which not great, but needed it. Blah blah blah. Of course, drink your piss. Piss is next level. That's the fountain of youth. For me, piss is more important at this stage of reality. People understanding and consuming their own waters is a much higher value than learning how to breathe. Learning how to breathe is great, and everyone should, because it's the most basic function of life. But 24 hours a day, you have to breathe. Okay, the 18 hours that you're up, or 16 hours you're up, whatever, I don't know what your sleeping patterns are. You have to focus. You have to, and you're not going to be able to. You're going to forget your breathing. You're going to talk to somebody. You're going to watch this, you do this, and you're going to forget it. But it's about getting into that pattern and that rhythm. Okay, so we're learning to breathe. But you only need to drink a few times, a dozen times, 2 dozen times a day. So you can make a very concerted, focused effort on what you're consuming. When you put something into your mouth, if it's food, you're going to eat once a day, maybe at sundown, that's when I'll eat. Maybe 3 times a day because you're still on that breakfast, lunch, dinner. Maybe you snack throughout the day, so you're going to eat 6 times a day. But every time you place something in your mouth, hand to mouth, you're going to be very focused on what you're consuming. So you better know what the fuck you're putting in your body. Now, when you're drinking, let's go, where does this come from? You're going to be very concerned with what are you drinking. So if you want to drink the best thing ever, what are you going to drink? Drink your piss. You know where it came from. You know what it is. And if you put good things in your body, fruits and veg juice, and you put all the clean waters, what do you think you're getting out of you? What is the best thing you can put in your body? Piss. Because it's something you only have to think about a few times. Once you do it, it's doing its job. Then you can go back to thinking about how to breathe. But most people aren't even aware of the shit that they put in their mouth. They're just going, shovel this in my mouth. It's not, you gotta, taking people from the point of shoveling random shit in their mouth that they don't even know what's on the box. to let's think about what we're putting in our face, to think about what we're eating. After you think about what you're eating, let's think about what you're drinking. Let's think about what you're breathing. You have to go like this all day. Am I breathing right? Ooh. Can I eat now? Can I drink now? Let's go. You gotta, it's stepping back off of the ledge of gross material in the body. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, for real. I mean, oh, you talking about the piss thing? You can ask anybody that is highly anybody that comes on my page. You can ask anybody that's very good looking, anybody that's wildly intelligent, that is very healthy. Ask them if they drink the piss. It has nothing to do with me. I mean, maybe most of them will say it's because I said something about it. But go look up very strong, well-minded, well-spoken people. It's not the assholes on TV that are like, oh, I got a fucking problem. I drink my piss because no, I fasted on piss. These people, they know what they're doing. Urine, Shivambu Kalpa. It's your medicine. It's these people get younger. They reverse age. They get healthier. They clean. They fix their body. Their mind works at a sharper frame rates. A mucus snake came out of you. Yeah, man, that's awesome. See, Rory would tell you. I don't know Rory too well. You could ask Shaman knows. Look at him, good looking dude, heals quickly. He is kind of a he's a werewolf, heals quickly, likes to be out at night, looks like one. Uh, I mean, you go talk to David Mannion. He's getting younger by the day. He healed himself a bunch of things. Go talk to Jim and Awake. Go look him up on Instagram. Dude is a fucking Viking who will rip your face off. 6'6", 230 pounds of. He said he wants to fight Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he said he wants to fight The Rock. He said he will. I will crush The Rock, and he drinks his piss. You think he's not stupid at all. I mean, it's a funny joke between people that've been here, but um, nah, dude, drinking your piss. The only reason I look this stupid right now is just because I was for the first time in I don't know how many years sick. Normally, I look like a pillar of a beacon of health, and I'm 3 times your age. Holy shit! I'm not 3 times your age, but I'm almost there. I'm 2.5 times your age, Teddy. And the only reason I even look close to that is because I just let my beard grow out. If you watch any of my earlier videos where I have a shorter beard, because I just once the C word happened, don't type that in there. Don't type anything to do with you know that kind of shit because I can't talk about that because it'll fuck my channel up. I just stopped cutting my mustache and my beard. Before that, I look like an average 33 year old or maybe younger. I mean, that's the chicks I used to smash. Yeah, here's a trick for drinking your piss though. Most people say drink the first piss in the morning. No, dude, because it will unless you're tenacious about it and don't have unless you have like a are able to have mental power to go, okay, I know this is weird and this is so crazy and this is like I can don't tell anybody. Number one, don't tell anybody you're doing it because that will fuck you up. And secondly, drink water all day. So the first time that you drink it, it's already diluted. If you drink the first piss of the day, you're gonna know what you ate the day before. But once you get to consuming the pee pee, it'll be easier and easier. It will get softer. It will get cleaner. Ask anybody. I fasted on piss for 5 days. The first time I ever started drinking piss was because I heard some doctors and Bear Grylls say you can only use it once or twice, and then it becomes bad, and it starts to get dirtier, and you'll hurt yourself. And once I heard him say that, I was like, okay, these people are full of shit and they're lying, and that I've listened to these other things. So I was in Indiana, staying in a hotel, and I was like, fuck it. And so I just stopped eating and just started drinking my piss. So I drank my piss. I looped it, recycled it, only my piss and some water, just because there wasn't enough piss. And it kept getting cleaner and cleaner. And I recycled it probably 45 times over the course of 5 days. And not only didn't I die, but I sat by the pool, and my third eye, I was having visions of different images in my head by staring at the sun. So yeah, don't drink your piss because it'll kill you. Right? Can't tell people that. Yeah, it's softer. I mean, how do you tell someone your water is softer? It's like you put it in your mouth and it's warm and it feels like it's part of you. It's already your plasma. It's like when you drink water normally, even if it's room temperature, there's a there's what's called here's how it works. There's what's called a so on water, if we just pour water in a glass, a fly can land in that water because there's what's called surface tension. That surface tension has a um, basically it's a boundary between what this is and what this is. So you have three states of water, and then what you'd have is called the fourth state of water. It's called easy water. So that water can actually where that surface tension is held, it reduces the surface tension. So the from this place above the water, which we'd call air, and the water, which we'd call water, the place that's the middle, which is right there, it starts to become more it starts to break apart. So that if a fly were to try to land in that water, it will fall right into the water because it's so similar now. Start breaking down the barrier of the fourth phase of water, easy water, the surface tension of water. So as you start to drink more of your urine, which is plasma, your water starts to get closer to plasma, which has less surface tension, and you put it in your mouth, and it's just softer. There's no other way of explaining it. It will be very obvious to you that's what you should be consuming because you're consuming basically plasma. Kidneys are perfect filters. Yep. Murine eyes. Yeah. Like well, hey, there you go. Uh, Base and Base says murine eye drops. What's the word? Get rid of the M. Urine eye drops. They told you. Put urine in your eyes. What do you think happens? Why do you think I don't have glasses? Why? I mean, I've had eye injuries that I wouldn't even begin to talk to you about that are so fucked up. I put hot pepper and urine in your eye, you'll cry, you'll sweat out bacterias, you'll sweat out all sorts of shit, but your eyesight will be there. Why do some people need eyeglasses and other people don't? It's the food they're eating. It's getting in the way. Yeah, I tell you, I never did the spit thing. I could see how that worked. I mean, every fluid in your body has a purpose. Hmm. Yeah, when I first started eye gazing, I don't know how many years ago it was. I don't really do it that often, but when I first started doing it, I remember I did it when there was a major solar eclipse. So it was like noon on a Saturday, maybe like 8 years ago. Look it up. And it was able we were able to see it in the US. I'm in New Orleans. Yeah. And so I just went out. Fucking hilarious. I was wearing this. And I had this gold. See this right here? See that right there? I took that out. I'm wearing this and I'm sitting on the lawn. Funny enough, it's crazy to me right now that I'm just saying this because I didn't live up here. I lived down in another part of New Orleans. And I came up and went to City Park, which is right across the street from my house. And I sat right next to the chime tree and I just wore this, sat on that, and stared with my bare eyes. Everybody's out there and they got their boxes to look at the, uh, the eclipse or whatever. And I'm just dead staring at it, just straight staring directly at it for 15 minutes straight. People are like, you can't do that. You're going to go blind, dude. I'm like, shh. And I stared at it for 15 minutes straight. Oh, from before, during, and then after. I laid down. My vision was inverted for a second. It means blacks were whites. It means like the colors, it just inverted for a little while. And then afterwards, everything just became crystalline clear. And everybody's sitting there with boxes, like sitting, looking through these things. They got this thing, they have little covers and all this shit. Don't stare at the fucking eclipse. You'll go blind. You'll die. How the fuck am I even looking at this? I'm reading this right here. Like, how does this happen? How come animals, when they wake up in the morning, they go and they drink clean water from the pond together? Together they go to the pond. The animals, they want to kill each other. They'll just hang out there and play and drink the water, and then the sun will come, in the horizon, and they'll stare at it. Just stare at it. Why? Why aren't they going blind? Why don't these animals need sunglasses? It's sun soaked. My favorite color is my favorite colors. Well, my favorite colors are green, and gold. But I do like the contrast of gold, black, and silver. But green, and gold is where it's at. Funny enough, the school that I went to growing up was called the Royals, and our colors were green and gold. You start seeing that Egyptian shit. Well, I just finished watching the American Gods series. If you've never seen it, highly suggest watch the whole thing. I think you get the first season for free on maybe HBO Max or one of those. I don't know which one. But if you guys are all internet savvy, you can figure out how to find it. Watch that whole series, and then you'll understand that the ancient Egyptians were in America first. We didn't come. This ain't no out of Africa bullshit. Out of Africa theory is a white man's theory. The point is to try to get people's minds that were here, the Native Americans, the melanated people, to go to Africa, to leave the country that the unmelanated Slavic slaves came in and stole with another set of people from the north. It's a whole story. It's all reversed, remember. But the original Egypt is, why do you think it's printed on our dollar bill? Why do you think our pyramids here, you can barely see them, but the ones over there are unearthed because they're younger. The deeper you go down, we have more ancient pyramids here. So if you go to the Nile River, there's a spot. The Nile River is the Mississippi River. And there's a spot called Cairo, or Cairo in Egypt. There's a Cairo in America. And the word comes of where two rivers meet. And there are two rivers. One, I believe, is the Ohio and the Mississippi. And there's a town called Cairo. And it's exactly the same makeup in town as it's in Egypt where Cairo is. Go watch go watch that. It'll give you a lot of clues into things of who the actual ancient Egyptians were and the Native Americans and what they have, what America is. America means rich soil. Ame, Rika. Rika means rich. Ame means soil or soul. Africa means rich, but Af is a different word than Ame. Just you'll do your own research on that. Nonetheless, that land is there is no send anybody back to Africa because they were already here. The melanated native um, uh, people, they were already here. Some of them were white, some of them this color, some of them red skin, some of them copper color, some of them blacker, would you call black, but not African. No, no, no. Minimal number of people from Africa. There was no. The slave ships went into the island up in where it's cold. They came. They're the only way you're bringing people over here if they're weak and feeble. You're not bringing a bunch of strong African tribesmen over on a slave ship chained down to these. That ain't happening. It's not happening. It didn't happen. It can't happen. The ships ain't nowhere. But they can bring people that were Slavic slaves already. Slave, the word comes from right there. They came right over to Ellis Island and why do you think all of these different breeds of people right up in New York, New Jersey, Chicago, all there? What do you think that all is? The influx of the Slavic region, which were people from that region in the Caucasus Mountains, Caucasian people, see, came into that land and overwhelmed that land. It's all there. Everything is reversed what you think about history. Don't matter if you think it to be true or not. Truth is truth. That's a fact. Jack, think about that. So, where does I go with that story, anyways? Yeah, just go watch American Gods, and if you don't a couple times during the show go, you should. You should. There'll be some things to be like, oh, and the characters and who they are and how they're playing it out. It's pretty on point. Ha ha ha. Sun took little pit bull named Chaga. Purple and green. That's colors of purple is the color of royalty. Green is the color of the heart and nature. Yeah. You liked it, the portrayal of Anubis in that? I my favorite character. I don't know. It's either one of um the two guys that are the Undertakers, or the portrayal that what the fuck is his name? The really poetic motherfucker. Uh, he plays like a dandy. He plays like what is he? What does Wednesday call him? Uh, Nancy. Nancy is my favorite character. Uh, but next to that, it's the two dogs that are the Undertakers, and they live in Cairo. What up, PB Life? Oh, you got here right on time when I started digging into that American Gods, and they. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, there you go. The word Memphis is the word Memphisib. You don't you add, you don't take away from. Memphis is Memphisib. But yeah, there's a bunch of really interesting. The Native American tribal shit was went the other. Everything's in reverse. Everything is backwards. Black means bleach, means white. White means wit, means dark. It's a whole. Everything language has got flip flops, including the way things went. So if they tell you something came from there, it was going there. Shit got shipped that way, not this way. You know what I'm saying? It's all upside down, backwards, inside out. If we live in an inside out, upside down world, that's what you. As soon as you hear something, just look the opposite direction. What do you think? All right, Rory, enjoy. Hey, baby, How much did you get of that? I mean, I think you were here another time that I gave the whole American gods and the African tribal native. There was already the people that were less melanated and the more melanated people. Uh, they were already interlinked in this land a long time ago. And then you have the underground people, which are look at so watch Gangs of New York. That's the Gangs of New York is the history of the mud flood, the original one. So watch American Gods and Gangs of New York, two good ones. And I would say the first time I watched Gangs of New York, I was like, oh, this is fun. And then after hearing about the mud floods and getting into the research, and then watching the whole thing again, I was like, oh. And then you start to get into the characters. They start to use some real Native American tribesmen that were like Cleveland. They even use some like the Cleveland Browns. There's a bunch of really interesting things. And then the mayor of New York at that time, you look at the time period, that is full on mud flood shit right there. That'll tell you the history. Wait, 9 p.m. to go into a store, but you can go through a drive-through. So they want you to drive through and be an alcoholic driving. Can't just go into the store. You can't just walk there. Can't take a bicycle. You ever see that? I think that's always funny. You see someone going through a drive-through on a bike. They're like, we can't serve you. You have to be in a car. He's like, I don't have a car, and your doors aren't open. I want food. Just serve me. I can't serve you unless you're in a car. What kind of shit is that? So where you want me to go with this stuff? Oh, I finally fucking got all the knots out of my hair earlier. Put the shit down. Oh, wow. It's been a while since I've done that. Hold on. Man, all right, I can't even see. So I gotta put the shit down. You guys speak amongst yourselves. I'll be back with you momentarily, and tell me where you're going to go with this. You want history? You want how the body functions? You want to talk about just some stupid shit? You want to talk about hip hop? Talk about art? You want to talk about bowel movements? Talk about alcohol? Let me talk about drugs. Speaking of drugs, I need to take one more out. My fucking thyroid stuff.
Ooh, listen to the melody in every single word I speak. It can warm your heart, makes me be a part of you. Ooh, listen to the melody in every single word I speak. It can warm your heart, makes me be a part of you. Ooh, listen to the melody in every single word I speak. It can warm your heart, makes me be a part of you. Ooh, listen to the melody in every single word I speak. It can warm your heart, makes me be a part of you. Ooh, listen to the melody in every single word I speak. It can warm your heart, makes me be a part of you. Ooh, listen to the melody in every
Yeah, cool. Good job. Right there. Should have put a but. I should have hit the mute button, or at least the. I'll be right back. Oh, and hey, Junie, you can rename these. You rename these files if you want to be more suitable for what the music is. You know what I'm saying? I just kind of some of these are named and some of them are just like one word, stupid. Anytime you want to say it, I'm done. Hello again. What did I miss? What kind of funny shit did I miss? Where are we at? Where are we? What the F? Okay. So I got to scroll through this. I got to put my big head in here. Gangster Jesus is here. Well, I'm well. Look, there's a big difference between satanic magic and Luciferian magic. I'll speak on that in a little while, but it should be very simple to understand. Lucifer is a light or a light bringer connected to a planet of light, Venus, right? Is that right? Anybody want to correct me on that? Venus, Venusian light bringer. It's a source. This is why You get lucent technology. You get lucid. Let's bring light to something. Nothing wrong with light. Satanic means shaitan. It means gift. It means darkness. So to say, let me try to explain this. I'll do this right now. Light, Lucifer is light. Light. That's fine. Light is as close as you can get to God. Lucifer was the morning, the morning star. Lucifer, it's bright light. Satan is called Santa. Santa brings gifts. Gifts are physical forms that the light brought. So God, Lucifer, connected, bring gifts in the form of Saturn. Lucifer or Venusian is connected to Saturn, male and female aspects. One dynamic is a V and one is a cube. So that cube of Saturn gives you a cube, which is a box, a gift from Santa, which is Saturn, which is Satan, which is the cubical realm that we live in, which is fine and dandy. You don't pray to Satan. You don't pray to Santa. You don't pray to Saturn. Saturn will give you what you want by going and praying to the other thing that then delivers the physical object reality, which is Saturn here. This is Saturn. I don't pray to this chair. I'm thankful for it. I'm thankful to Saturn, to Satan, to that world. But if you're going to put your mind in something, you put it on what is the higher light, which would be Luciferian, or you could call it God or Jesus if you'd like. Imagination. You call it any form you want. But this light then coagulates and brings into manifest this physical reality, this is why Jesus Christ is higher consciousness, imagination, and brings, which is JC, brings Julius Caesar, JC, the physical reality. It's a reflection. Reflection of Jesus Christ is Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar's world, that's why he's on the coin. The coin is the Khan, the king, the kin, the kin of the king, the king, K-I-N. That means your relative. It means it's connected. So the kin of the sun, which is encapsulated within water, the water and the Ori, there's the Ori, the light, so then takes shape and formats itself into Saturn or Satan's world. We live in Satan's world. This is Satan's world. Blessed be it, right? But it came out of the consciousness of that Jesus Christ, if you'd like to call it that. It's not biblically formatted the way you think it is. It means what I bring in here, I allow to my brain be rain, to bring down the rain into these parts and creates an environment that is Saturnian, which is Satan, which is where your feet go, which is called your soul. This is why your soul, the sun, is called the soul, and you put your sole of your foot onto the soil, which is the earth, which is Satan. It's all connected. That's the Father. The Father, the Son, and the child, or the Father, the Holy Spirit. You could break down any way. It's the Father is this. The mother is Satan. This is why everybody hates the mother. The mother ate of the apple, because eating of the apple is the idea that you're participating in a physical reality. Do not eat of the apple, or you will know of the world. And the world was represented as a cube. So you get the Father is the sun. The mother is not the moon. The mother is the earth, and the child is you. So they would say the Father, God, Jesus, you, imagination, mother, earth, which is physicality. Eat it. You know what I'm saying? That's how it works. What the fuck am I doing? I want to sit here and just make the shit up as I go along? You kidding yourself if you think so. Shit is serious. Go talk to the dogs. The joke on Dog Star. It's all a fucking joke. It's all imagination, man. Hi, oh, you okay? You on the mushies? Okay. BB's up in here. Sunto got right to it. What up, BB? Want a bug? Apparently, drinking pee is one of the most effective ways of making your body uninhabitable for negative entities. That's true. It because it's too pure. Where we at here? Hey, what BB? What did you want me to speak on? I missed what I'm supposed to be speaking on here. Um, I'm sorry, I'm a little behind, but let me know what did I miss? So was that a good co coagulation of things? Let me. I gotta put my fan on over here. Hold on. I do have one fan in the world. Oh, I've had to close my window because it is moist and warm outside, and I need some cold air in here because it is fucking sweating, dog. 1 second, I'll be right back. Okay, right back here. What did I miss? Anything good? So realize whenever I'm talking, you guys are 10 seconds behind, so it'll take an extra few seconds for me to answer as I just had to catch up on all your comments here. Hey, what did Sun Post Toke? What did Sun Post Toke? What did Sun Toke post? Uh, I might have missed it. I already covered the Satan thing and the Lucifer thing. Sorry about that. Sticking over this little thyroid thing here, thyroid throat thing. What you mean, like? So Pharaoh Astaroth, what are you doing? I mean, just the pee and why it does? Because your urine is plasma. Like, why do you think in the future they always talk about plasma rays? Boom, boom, you killed negative energy with plasma rays. Why do you think they're going to say there's a plasma apocalypse? Your urine is plasma ultrafiltrate. Your kidneys clean. It basically takes your blood and everything that's in it and inverts it and gives you the solution to anything that you put in your body. That's why when you consume it, it'll kill off bacteria and do all sorts of things. So your body is like your body is a plasma gun, in essence, really. I mean, what's your auric field made of? Depends on how far you can see into the etheric realm, with the ether around you. If you do certain psychedelics, if you're on a high vibe, if you really meditate, you can kind of see the static charge around you and around certain things. You see it around a tree, a puppy, another human being. You can see it around things, objects at times. Depends how tuned in you are. But I mean, what do you think you're spitting out? Where do you think that's coming from? So the plasma is liquid light. I mean, isn't that the next level? If we go from solid, right, the solid, and then we go to liquid. Liquid can go up and down. And then we go to gaseous form. Then we go to light. Light seems to be reproducing itself everywhere. So if we take light and we put it into a liquid format, that would be plasma, right? Liquid light. Boom, boom. And what does that kill? Why do you think all of these substances that I've been putting you guys onto, they glow in the dark. Well, they don't. Well, they do glow in the dark, but they glow under black light. Like the stuff. It's called Luciferian, or it's not Luciferian. It's called Luca. Basically, it's substances like a bitters. You ever a gin and tonic? It's a tonic. A tonic is made from certain substances, bitter elements, and certain bitter elements under a black light will glow. Here's one. I'll show one to you. Here's one. I don't have a black light, so I can't do this for you. Go get yourself what's called cinchona bark. Cinchona bark. Do you remember the big thing that was occurring at the beginning of this thing that was going on a couple years ago? You know, the big thing that was everybody was falling victim to? Well, this stuff right here is the main ingredient in tonic water. Well, it used to be, at least. Say, put this in tonic water, and they put it with gin. So a bunch of herbs plus this. And there's all these plagues and things going on in the 16th, 17th, 1800s, whatever. And the bourgeoisie, the rich people, always had gin and tonics on hand. They could survive these things. Why were they surviving it? Because the light will kill the darkness. So the light that's in this bark itself, which is oddly this thing that was just going on. This is the thing that they're making in laboratory, the fake version of cinchona bark. Go look up cinchona, Cinchona, and just research that as long as you want. I've already done it for you years ago. Actually, probably 5 years ago, well before this shit happened. I was telling you about it. So, and they figured out that oddly, when you had black light in a party, why are these certain drinks glowing? Because there's a substance in there called I don't want to. It's loose of something. It's kind of like when if you go out to the ocean at night, you see all these things that are glowing on the beach. It's a similar thing, right? So that goes and kills darkness. So people would consume this, and it would kill bacteria and death. What's up, Ziggy? Where are we at here? What's up, Ziggy? I heard about that, you stupid. And I heard you didn't even say nothing. I know it's you gotta avoid at all costs saying anything even remotely towards that thing. I know, dude. I've been there, man. It's fucking stupid. There you go. You can't F with the P word. Yeah, you got to call yourself a dummy a few times. I'm a fucking dummy. I don't know shit. Everybody knows this. What is a chinchona? Yeah, that's the. Well, this is one of the brands I got. This is from Small Flower. You can find this on. I get most everything from Amazon. It's the easiest way to do it. Why do you think they get it from the Amazon? It's the Amazon forest. There's a whole thing behind that. The other place is to go to Mountain Rose Herbs. You might be able to find this. Yeah, I got another variety in the cupboard too. It's quinine. Quinine is what you're looking for. Cinchona makes quinine. So that word that came up about 2.5 years ago, It's called quinine or whatever the fuck it's called. That's the base for it. That's the original version. They made an artificial version of that, which does not glow in the dark, but has some of the same properties. There you go. Mhm. Yeah, well, this is the thing about. I'll just put it out there again. Alkalizing, alkaline, and alkaloids are all different things. One is a property, one's a transmutative force, one's a you can't alkalinic alkalinic blood is different than alkalinic urine is different than alkalinic food. Remember that because your chemistry of your body changes depending upon what you put in it. You can put acidic things in your body that will cause your body to become alkalinic because you're gonna put extra acid in, and your body wants to be in homeostasis, so it produces less acid, thereby neutralizing and causing your body to sway towards alkalinic, making your blood and urine more alkalinic. If I keep throwing alkalinic food into my body, my stomach, because it wants to eat it up and digest it, will produce more acid. If I put more acid into my body, my blood and my urine will become more acid. And it doesn't really matter because the state of my urine is not equate to the state of what's going on in my body in the health of my blood or my organs or anything else. So there is a balance. That's why it's called pH balance. It should be at 7.3 or whatever. Everybody keeps doing this alkaline thing. It's going to hurt themselves in the long run. I guarantee you that. You eat too much raw food, it's going to cause your body to have to digest harder. Why do you think you don't eat a fucking potato raw, do you? What kind of dummy would you have to be? I'm just going to gnaw on a potato and a raw carrot. No, fuck that. You cook it first. Why? Because it's loosening up the fibers and allowing for all of the, because it's called the roots to the fruits. If I put enough sunshine and water into a tree, it will nourish itself and come towards the sun. See? It will go up here, and the fruits will be here, and there'll be water, and it will smell good, and it'll be glowing, and you just want to go, ain't that delicious? Now, because the fruits are connected to the roots, I can still take the thing from the bottom of the tree and take some of that root or that bark off the tree and still make something. But for me to do that, I need to add more water and more heat. So I cook it, thereby unleashing whatever's in there, which would then that would become the fruit. If I got 3 months to wait, I'm going to wait for that fruit. But if I need it now, I'm going to take that root, I'm going to take that bark, I'm going to put it into something, I'm going to boil it. So I'm going to infuse the water to unlock things within it and heat it up. That's the light, the heat, and put the water into it, and then it's going to deliver it in the form of a tea, the root of the fruit. I'm not eating the potato raw. I'm not eating the carrot raw. Why would I do that? You cook it first. It will give you more nourishment because your body, how hard is it to, you put a mushed carrot there and see how hard it is to digest it. Very simple. You put a raw carrot, a raw potato, whatever, a tuber, it takes a lot to digest it. So you'd be putting an undue stress upon your body to push more acid. You want a raw diet? You're gonna put more acid. Pay the fuck attention here, you kumquats. If you put a stick into your body, a root, a raw food, you need to put more acid in to break it down. You fucking dickwads. How about that? I'll just say it like it is. How would you do it in front of you? Here, I'm gonna give you a chemistry set. It's called your fucking body, you dork bags. I'm just gonna let you do it in yourself. What do you put in there? Digest that bark. Digest that. Cause that to break apart. What would you do? Add more acid. So what do you think's happening in your stomach? So to neutralize having to put more acid into your system, you would cook it and allow it an easier process of absorption by digesting it first outside of your body. Boom. Fucking nutbags. I have people arguing with me about this shit all the time. I'm like, You're wrong. It ain't gonna change. The fact that I'm saying it doesn't change the fact that I'm right and you're wrong. It has nothing to do with me. I don't like being right. I fucking hate being right all the time. It just is a matter of fact that I am. You want to argue? You want to argue organic chemistry with me? You want to argue about how the body works? How I can look in a glass bottle here that we a Pyrex bottle and how we what we're gonna have to put in here to make that breakdown. You're gonna tell me that's not what's happening in the stomach. You don't have stomach acid in you. That shit fucking irritates me to no end. And I'm just like, why do I even talk about this to people? It's already there. I already told you how it works. Hello, how y'all doing? Camu Camu's good. Chaga, she legit. Shisandra berry is the shit, man. Suntoke Shisandra berry is the staple of traditional TCM, traditional Chinese medicine, because it has the five main. Um, so you have the four elements in some ideas: air, fire, earth, water, and then you have the five elements of air, fire, earth, water, and metal. So that'd be the Chinese version, right? So it's like made like a star, and those would be equivalent to the. I believe it's sweet, salty, savory, sweet, salty, savory. Mm. Can you give me the other two? Why am I fucking tripping on this one right now? Yeah, sweet. I think it's because I'm sucking on this thing. Oh, sweet, salt, savory, sour, and sour is the other one. Sweet, salt, savory, sour, and there's a fifth one. Anyways, that connects to what a Shisandra berry is. Shisandra berry is the basically the I think it's called the queen. You guys can look this up if you want to. I could be way off base here, but it's either the king or the queen of traditional Chinese medicine. Medicine. Sorry, I'm sucking on this cherry lozenge here. Yeah, actual Teddy, thank you. Science does not actually the scientific method, not the end of the science. The methodology of coming to a conclusion doesn't the mathematics and the scientific process and the geometry never changes. That's because you say I did science. I did the science. Maybe you did it wrong. I did the math. Maybe you did fucking wrong. You know, and not my fault. It's not going to change anything. It's like if I take a bat and smash your shin in, it's still going to hurt, right? If I hit you with a pillow filled with cotton, it's not going to hurt so much. Let's do the math here. What's the geometry? What's the science on this? Sweet, salty, savory, sweet, salty, savory, spicy, and sour. Thank you, Juniperus. Sweet, salty, savory, spicy, sour. Sweet, salt, 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 savory, spicy, sour. There it is. I mean, the bitter is in the sour, I guess. I mean, depending on if you ask Indian people, there's a special classification, or there's a food spice. It's kind of like it's kind of like a black a black salt that tastes somewhat like farts. You know what I'm talking about? There's a certain, and there's another one that's kind of between that smell and a bitter flavor. It's a specific word and it's hard to translate, but when you taste it, you know it, and it's not a flavor you're used to. Hey Rory, you got the high life, yo. Let's go. It needs to be profitable. Well, the pittas still go into the categories. No, it's a specific. Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't make any sense. You'd have to have eaten the flavor. It's it is a bitter flavor, but it's not quite what you'd call bitter. Because when I used to hang out with Indian people, they would be like, I'm like, does it mean bitter? They're like, it's not bitter the way you know bitter. It's something like that. It's kind of like whenever if you're cooking and you're cooking something Asian, there's an umami flavor, an umami flavor. It's hard to transition. It means savory, but not quite savory. And there's a bitter, but not quite bitter flavor. You see? Yeah, I don't see what I do is I don't debate with people. I just tell them what the fuck I know. And they think I'm arguing and I'm like, I don't have the right to argue with you. I'm just telling you facts. You could put that you could three me, you could see me on this. You could fax me on this. This is facts. You're arguing, I'm just telling you the truth. That's what I got. What you got is bullshit that you're arguing with. So if you think we're arguing, that's your problem, not mine. I don't argue with people. Like, I mean, it appears as though I am. It appears that I'm arguing with an idiot. No, the idiot's arguing with me. It'd be like, if I'm a mountain and they're like, you're not a fucking mountain. If I'm like, I'm a billy goat. I'm a goddamn lion. I'm an elephant. And they were just like, no, you're not. But that's their problem. Of course I'm a fucking elephant. What the hell do I look like to you? You know what I mean? It's like, for me, it's like, in the end, here's how we can prove this point. Here's how I like to prove my point. Whenever I talk to somebody about salt, I'm like, let me prove my point. You go ahead and you grab a bag of your Himalayan sea salt or your kosher salt or whatever the fuck salt you want. And you go ahead and take your spoonfuls and eat that. And I'm going to go ahead and eat what I consider salt out of actual food. We'll see whose kidney sees up and they don't live. Let me prove it one more step. Let's go a little further just to make it very clear. Me and you, we'll get on a boat together. And we will have no water on that boat. But you know that salt is good for you. Now, as we go out into the ocean, there's going to be ocean water surrounding us. There's salt in there, right? You go ahead and start drinking that. And I'm going to drink my piss. Now, you're certain that piss is no good and will kill me. And I'm certain, and you know that water will kill you, but salt's good for you. You drink the salt water from the ocean, and I'm going to drink my piss. And we'll see who decides to keep living. However that might occur. And I happen to know, scientifically, factually, with complete 100% knowledge, that I will survive and you will not. Your kidneys will seize up and you will die. It's a fact of the matter. The salt will kill you. It will dehydrate you. Salt is dehydrating. My piss will keep me alive. Fact or not fact? Let's try it out. I will challenge you to your belief system any single fucking time on this salt thing. Find anyone that thinks salt's good for them and tell them I will happily go onto a boat with them out into the ocean and I will just have my urine to drink. I could drink the water if I wanted. I will not. And they could drink all the salt water they want. Let's find out. Let's see if your science is valid. I know that time and time again, in fact, 100% of the time, my proof is that I will be alive and you will still be dead. Every single time. How does that work? Because it has nothing to do with me wanting to be right. I care not for my position. I wish I could drink the water that you're drinking. Although I know every time I do, I fucking choke up on it and it doesn't seem right and I want to spit it out. But my urine seems about right for me. So whose science is right here? Come again? Try it out. when you're speaking the truth and told you're arguing and that you think you know everything. I don't know anything. I just happen to know what I know in the moment. And you're not going to beat facts, and you're not going to beat truth. You can't do it. Argue all day. Argue until you can't breathe. Argue until your kidneys fail. That's about the size of it. I've had to have that conversation with so many people, and they still will not. They will still not cease to have their belief. There's between facts and truth and belief. Belief, you have to think it. I don't need to think this. I'm not thinking this. I don't want to say this. I don't want to have to. I don't want to have to be in that conversation with people where I go, yeah, drinking piss is better than drinking salt water. I don't want to have that conversation because I look like I'm a piss drinker, and that's weird, right? Happens to be the truth. Someone's gonna convince me, hey, you got two choices: you can drink your piss, or drink the salt water. It's a fucking no-brainer. I don't have to think about it. There is no thought in that. There's no thought in truth. Rory, yes. Any a distiller is a distiller is a distiller, man. Just find one that has good reviews. Spend as little as possible. You could probably get one between 100 and 200 bucks. Um, my my distiller that I had, well, I had two distillers. They're both still working, and I've had one for 7 years and one for 14 years. The 14-year-old one is in my kitchen right now. It's louder than I'd like it to be, and it's a little slower because it uses the stainless steel is thicker and it's built a little more hefty, right? So it's never really gonna foul. I just got to clean it every once in a while. The other one, it's lighter and has a thinner. It's like what 16 gauge rather than 10 gauge. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? 10 gauge is a little thicker. 16 gauge a little thinner. I don't know what the gauge of it is, and it's a little more chintzy made, but it's quieter. But it's lasted for 7 years, and it works faster because it's thinner. So the heat dissipation and blah blah blah. That one works. I get a gallon in 3 hours. This one, that's my friend's using now. Gallon in 3 hours. This one, a gallon in 4 hours. This one costs $200. That one costs $100. It's gonna last you. And if you only got a year out of it, that's well more than you paid for. Oh yeah, I mean, when I used to go to the store and buy distilled water, I'm gonna have a gallon to drink, a gallon for whoever I'm with to drink. That's 2 gallons. That's the mega home. That should be 190, maybe. I can't really see it, but if that's the mega home, should be like 200 bucks. I don't know where we are pricing things out these days. But okay, so if I go through, I would say 3 gallons a day between a dog, 2 humans, and that would be for cooking, making tea, drinking distilled water, cooking. 3 gallons a day, that's $3 a day. Do that real quick. 1 month, that's $90. 2 months, that's painful. 2 months worth. And if I really got into it on top of that, driving to the store, driving back, spending my time at fucking Walmart or CVS, it's a no-brainer. That's paid for in 2 months. Sun Soak, you like Celtic salt? Yeah, I mean, I don't 100% sea salt. Any salt is poison, but a little bit of salt, I put it on things. I put it in things. I get it. We got an addiction to it. If it adds a little bit of, opens up flavors, and a little bit of salt. It's not gonna kill you. A little bit of salt won't kill you. It adds a little spice to life. Spices and all that shit. But in any major way, salt is not your friend. Unless you're drinking distilled with guava splash, nice. I mean, you got the beast. Yeah, I mean, hey, have fun. I have the two that I have were the Mega Home, the silver one, and then a white one that cost 95 bucks. I forget which one that was. Oh, dude, yeah. Once you see for yourself what comes out in a distiller, you would never, bro. I made like 10 gallons, and then I just did a cleanse with a little bit of citric acid to get the shit out the sides, and a little bit of water, and I poured it into a shot glass. And I was like, the smell of it, and I was like, I looked at somebody, I was like, would you drink this? Like, that's fucking disgusting. I was like, that's what's so if I take 10 gallons of water and I just I've dumped this into a gallon and then put it apart 10, you're gonna drink those 10 gallons of water. And you just don't know what's in there. But you just drank that. They're like, huh? I'm like, that's all the shit on the walls of that stainless steel that is calcified lime, chemicals, blah blah blah. That's what happens. And that's now it's in a shot glass. It's like dark yellowish brown. And then I've let it go longer. And B, I'm telling you, that would have everybody's like, I would never ever drink that. It's like, but you are. If you drank any water, that's what you fucking drink. Mm-hmm. What about well water? One of my favorite people, Daniel Vitalis, said that when he had met the first water shaman that he ever met, he said, well, uh, you have different types of water, and you have spring water because he was big into spring water. And everything is well, it's water, it's well water. Well, it's water. It'll do the job. In that you're just gonna have a lot of heavier metals and heavier things. Maybe not as bad for your body as all the chemicals, but because there's not gonna be a lot of chemicals in well water. But it'll get it done. I would still distill it. Distilled means splitting stillness. Still water means to kill, die, still. That means die, split, still. Yeah, I mean, I'd rather not because it opens up all the pores in your body. But get a good shower head. In fact, I don't even I never did that, and I think I'm gonna have to do that tonight. Now, since I moved it, I never even considered putting a new shower head on here. I should probably do that. I think it's because I shower way less these days. I just shower when I need to. I mean, if you live in a city and you're outside, you're sweating a lot, you got to shower. But I'm into if I get a suntan, you got to let the bacteria do what it's doing on your skin and form you like a nice your TDS meter, total dissolved solids. Oh, dude, this first person shooter thing. I just got to the scene where the dude's doing all these he's doing all this blow and all these hookers in here. It's pretty fucking hilarious. Candles and hookers and blow everywhere. Candles, hookers, dildos, and blow. Good shit. I mean, the brown dirt water is better because maybe there's clay in there. Yeah, Teddy, do that. Get a distiller, man. I mean, and if you're gonna do it for a house, if it's for the family, reverse osmosis is good enough. If it's for a whole house of people, because I believe you can hook it up to the underneath and do a whole house for it, and it's quicker. But as far as if it's just for drinking, because the most of the water you're doing is drinking anyway, so Just do the distiller. Just plug that bitch in and you're good. Fishy, dirty balls and the horse. Suntoke, am I in StreamYard? Yes, that's what I'm doing. This is correct, Suntoke. Yeah, just get a distiller, dude. Oh, this movie is pretty crazy. I'm gonna have to rewatch it. A lot of creepy shit going on here. Fucking hardcore Henry. What are we looking at here? 2 hours. It's like 9:30. Um, let me, guys, let me take a little bit of a break here. Just to get my fucking. I just did 4.5 hours. I just did 2 hours. 6.5 hours. Normally I'd be paid a fucking pretty penny for my time. Give me a second just to like. I gotta do a couple stretches and shit. So you're leaning on this. Um, hey, is Junie still in here? Play music, or should I do that? Let me play some music, and I'll be back. And give me like 10 minutes. I'll at least keep this broadcast up because you guys are in here. Oh, you got a ballad here? Okay, well I'll do it then. I'll play some music, and you guys fucking enjoy. Well, thank you, Teddy. Yeah, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just putting this on pause. Put some music on, and I gotta do a couple stretches and get my shit into order because I feel like I just been leaning into this camera for fucking 6.5 hours. So let me do this here. Oh, and for anybody curious, yes, this is all of my music. Anything on here is mine. I made it. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. I haven't made a video in a while, and you guys got this much time. I'm pretty much gonna call this a night. Watch a movie or something, and relax because I just gave you guys all the energy I had for the day. Remember, as always, enjoy yourself. Be yourself. This whole experience is your experience, so go and do it. Have some fun. Be yourself because everybody else is already taken. And if I have to come back into this life and I have to inhibit your body, make it good. Make it pleasurable and inspire people when you can. You know how that works. If you have a little currency or energy, share that with people. And if it's me, that'd be great. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo is the description box beneath, and it's also in that banner that's going by. It's going to give you my email address if you want help personally. It's going to give you my old writings back to 2012 on WordPress. It's going to give you my other channel if I'm not on here. And what else did I put on there? I don't fucking know. Yeah. TSAR capital XEN. That's my Cash App. That's my PayPal. You gotta make sure you capitalize that X though. And my Venmo, it's on the description box in there. Blah blah blah. Appreciated. Help out your friends, neighbors, and especially help out the people that you. Yeah, you know, if you don't like somebody, you don't gotta like them. You don't gotta help them. But you know, if you just don't like somebody for the wrong reason, you need help. Fucking help them. Remember that Billy Madison bit where he's like, "I'm glad I called that guy." Yeah, just go ahead and fucking enjoy yourselves. Good to see you, BB. Good to see you, Bass and BB Life, and everybody else. I'm gonna probably not get shut eye, but at least relax. I just went from zero movement of my throat or talking to anyone for 6 days to doing all that fucking however many hours I've just done. Oh, actually, it's more than that. It's almost 7 hours now. 2 hours here, almost 5 hours over there. Bong bong, stay fucking rad. Herb God in the building. Zen is out of here. And you guys fucking stay fabulous. Maybe I'll be on later. Who knows? Maybe I get the fucking wild hair up my ass, or maybe tomorrow I'll be on. Who knows? Good to see everybody. Bye bye, bitches.